Hey, it's Marc. Happy New Comic Book Day, and I'm back with a giant stack of recommendations for this week, so let's get right to it. First up, America Chavez. Made in the USA, issue number 1. This is a new miniseries written by Kalinda Vasquez, artwork by Carlos Gomez, and I had zero expectations before I started reading this, and I read it because it's a new number 1. I have mild interest in the character, primarily from her involvement with Kelly Thompson's West Coast Avengers series, and came away really enjoying it. You don't have to know anything about the character. It gives you a nice kind of recap. Part of the story explores her background and her past, and the rest of it takes place in the present. We get a guest appearance by a couple Marvel characters, including Kate Bishop, aka Hawkeye, and Spider-Man. So I give it a thumbs up. It was a very pleasant surprise, especially the artwork by Carlos Gomez. It is fantastic. This isn't necessarily a recommendation, it's just kind of a heads up that Avengers has 3 different variant covers this week, depending on your tastes. If you're a fan of the Alex Ross Timeless variants, there is The Vision this week. They're also doing Women's History Month variants by Jen Bartel, and on Avengers this week, it's She-Hulk. And this is the first of the Michael Cho two-tone variants that will be on Marvel covers throughout the month of March. This is kind of my personal favorite. I'm tempted to kind of pick up all of these and frame them. We shall see. All right, the 800-pound gorilla this week is Berserker, and if you're like me, you just hear that song from Clerks in your head over and over again. Berserker number 1, co-written by Keanu Reeves and Matt Kindt, artwork by Ron Garney. This is actually very, very good. Recommend it to anybody that likes John Wick, action movies, Wolverine. This is essentially, as some people have joked, Keanu Reeves' opportunity to portray himself as Wolverine, kind of, sort of. But that's not entirely true. This is about an individual who has been around for possibly tens of thousands of years, an immortal, and wants to be cured of his immortality, and is working with the U.S. government in exchange for the cure, as supposedly a good guy. But lots of action, like nonstop action, but a really solid story behind it. Not for the squeamish, though. There is a lot of violence. Batman continues to be really strong. This is issue number 106, and this is the wraparound cover. I believe it's by Jorge Jimenez. Yes, it is. So this is written by James Tynion IV, artwork by cover artist Jorge Jimenez. This is issue 106, as I said. Since Tynion took over the title after Tom King, it has really been top-notch, including the Joker War storyline, and now we're continuing post-Future State. I'm really looking for... I enjoy every issue. I've enjoyed every issue that Tynion's written. So, Batman, good stuff. Also new from DC, Crime Syndicate number 1. This is a 6-issue miniseries written by someone. Andy Schmidt, artwork by Kieran McKeown. I'm having trouble saying that. Takes place on Earth 3. So, this is essentially the evil Justice League on Earth 3. If that's your thing, then check out Crime Syndicate. Infinite Frontier, issue number 0. This is a one-shot with lots of writers. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 stories in here by everybody from Brian. Basically, this is a setup for the Infinite Frontier period of DC Comics. So we're out of Future State, we're now into Infinite Frontier. So this is a setup for where these titles will be going. And so we've got a preview, and it's not previews of those books, it's actual stories, new stories that are setting up things to come in these titles. So we've got Brian Michael Bendis and David Marquez on Justice League, James Tynion and Jorge Jimenez on Batman, and this does play a part. You want to read, if you pick up both Batman and Infinite Frontier, you want to read Infinite Frontier first before you read Batman. Wonder Woman by Becky Cloonan and Michael Conrad, with art by Aletha Martinez and Mark Morales. We get a Wonder Girl story written and drawn by Joelle Jones. Green Lantern Alan Scott, written by James Tynion, art by Stephen Byrne, who's fantastic. Teen Titans Academy, written by Tim Sheridan, art by Rafa Sandoval and Jordi Tarragona. Superman by Philip Kennedy Johnson, with art by Jamal Igle. Green Arrow and Black Canary by Joshua Williamson with art by Alex Maleev. Stargirl by Jeff Johns and Todd Nauck. Green Lanterns, plural, written by Jeffrey Thorne, art by Dexter Soy. And The Flash, written by Josh Williamson, art by Howard Porter. And an epilogue, written by Joshua Williamson with art by John Romita Jr. and Klaus Janson. So, ton of great content in Infinite Frontier, and again, sets up the face of the DC Universe, the landscape of the DC Universe to come very soon. If you're itching for new James Bond and you're going nuts waiting for the new movie, I would recommend picking up this new series, James Bond Agent of Spectre from Dynamite. This is written by Christos Gage, fantastic writer, artwork by Luca Casalaguida. I probably mispronounced that, but this will satisfy your Bond itch until Daniel Craig returns to the big screen. My pick of the week is Noctera, issue number 1. This is written by Scott Snyder, artwork by Tony Daniel. This takes place in a very near future where the sun has gone out, not necessarily gone out, where the world has gone dark, and the only way to survive is with artificial light. Fantastic first issue, was my wife Angie's pick of the week as well. I don't know what Alex's was yet, because he's not here yet. Suicide Squad number 1, looking a lot like the upcoming Suicide Squad team from James Gunn's movie. This is written by Robbie Thompson, artwork by Eduardo Pansica. If you're a fan of Suicide Squad, check it out. Another really solid first issue from an up-and-coming writer. Ram V is the writer on this. Artwork by Mike Perkins, fantastic penciler. The Swamp Thing. This is a 10-issue miniseries. Undone by Blood from Aftershock Comics. This is The Other Side of Eden. So, yes, there was a previous miniseries called Undone by Blood. And this is kind of like a crime anthology book. So the first series has really no connection to this current series. I haven't gone back to do my homework. The Western sub-story may be a continuation from the first one, but this new series takes place, the present-day series, or the more modern series, takes place in the 1930s, whereas in the first volume it was in the 1970s. So new characters, new crime story, new Western kind of story that flows through it. Really enjoyed it as well. Written by Lonnie Nadler and Zach Thompson. Artwork by Sammy Kivala. Recommended that one, definitely. Sensational Wonder Woman. This is a Wonder Woman anthology series. This issue is written by Stephanie Phillips, who we were fortunate enough to talk to a few weeks ago. Art by Megan Hetrick. Really solid. Enjoyed the heck out of it. And this is a one and done. It's a mini-series. Let me see here. Yes. So each issue is going to have a standalone story set during Wonder Woman time. But really dug this first issue, and that cover is fantastic. And finally, Demon Days X-Men, written and drawn by Peach Momoko. This one surprised me. I didn't know what to expect. Don't go in expecting a regular X-Men story, because you will probably be disappointed. It's definitely heavy Asian influence on here, which is fantastic. The characters, the artwork, the language. It's kind of sort of, if I had to draw a comparison, it's kind of like Neil Gaiman's Marvel 1602, 1601, whatever it was, I think it was 1602, where the characters are familiar yet different within a different time period. So on the cover you see here, we kind of have like a Venom type character up here who does appear in the comic. You have a Psylocke character who goes by Sai, S-A-I, in the series. Logan does make an appearance, as does the Hulk, but not in the forms that you're familiar with. So if you're looking for a little offbeat Marvel story starring some of the X-Men, set under the X-Men header, Demon Days is for you. This is a quarterly miniseries. So yeah, we gotta wait 3 months for the next issue. But again, Peach Momoko is really in high demand. Her art is very unique and fantastic, so she is writing and drawing every issue. And we didn't even get to the graphic novels. There's a bunch of great new graphic novels this week too, but I had so many single issues to talk about that I decided to skip those for this week. So there you have it, my recommendations for this new comic book day. Hopefully you can join us tonight. If you're watching this on Wednesday, we do our Facebook live sale, a live stream every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'll put a link in the comments for you. And I hope you're able to go out and hit up your local comic shop this week and pick up some of these great new releases. As always, I appreciate you watching. I hope that you stay safe, that you are well, and I will see you again soon.